Okay. Hello. Welcome
Hello.
back to A&M Media. Today we're going to be discussing, just a lot of the crazy trades that have been going on, such as Juan
Yep.
Soto, Frankie Montas. It's been really crazy. Do you agree, eh?
Yeah. I think this deadline has been probably one of the biggest in the past few years. Not saying that any other year has been big, but like this year you have Montas, you have
Soto.
Soto and Josh Bell.
Yeah.
David Robertson got traded. I mean, a lot of players have gotten traded.
Yeah, it's really been crazy, especially the Soto trade. Do you agree? Do you think that Soto and the Padres is a fair trade?
Yes, I also believe they're the most scary team now in the NL. We know this. Once you add Soto, once Tatis comes back, which he's doing a rehab assignment, I believe this weekend, he will be returning pretty soon. So you have probably Tatis, then you have Soto, Machado, and Josh Bell as your top four in their lineup. I mean,
That's a
and
godsend.
not even factoring Brandon Drury, who got traded, could add some depth for like he could play everywhere in every position.
Well, Brandon Drury
So
is actually a good player.
yeah, he's
He's
having
really
like one of
proven
his
this
best
year.
years. Yep. Um, Twins acquired Tyler Mahle from the Reds,
He
who had played there his entire career. I don't know if that's significant, but that was something I found pretty. Not, I thought it was honestly pretty cool for them to do that. I think the Twins do need pitching. We know that, but adding a guy like that and Jorge Lopez from the Orioles makes their rotation a little more scary.
Yeah, especially since the Twins have been struggling a little bit pitching wise. But that will definitely help.
Yep.
Definitely help their rotation a lot, improve it.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say about that.
Next up, we're going to talk about my team, the New York Yankees. The Bronx Bombers have acquired Frankie Montas and got Lou Trevino in that same trade. Now, the thing with Lou Trevino is he's not having a good year, but Matt Blake is a really great. He knows how to do these, he knows how to make pitchers good. I mean, again, like we saw last year, he made Clay Holmes look like this year, Clay Holmes is like the best pitcher in the MLB.
Well, I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
like best reliever in the MLB, but
I
struggled to.
still don't know about that. But
He was
Edwin
playing at an
Diaz, I
elite
mean.
level this season. I mean, he was doing things like he broke Mariano Rivera's scoreless streak of giving up a run, which was crazy early on in the year.
True.
Now adding Montas to this rotation makes it even deadlier. I mean, obviously, if Cole can be a little more consistent, you're thinking about Cole and Montas being your top two in the postseason. Like that could help, especially with how good he is against a Houston Astros team that the Yankees have lost to in the past few years.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs.
I'm excited for this team, man. If the Yankees, now we also have a bigger thing coming out that Carlos Rodon is sellers. Now that the Twins are out and just got their starter, the Cardinals, Phillies, and Yankees are all interested in Rodon. I want to hear your thoughts. If the Yankees get Rodon, that makes them even more of a threat.
If the Yankees get Rodon, they're probably gonna have top three best rotations in the league.
Yeah.
If not second or first best, because
Yeah.
they just acquired Montas, who's been helping a struggling A's team this year. Because obviously,
Yeah.
they've been pretty bad this year because they just got rid of all their players.
Yep.
Which is kind of disappointing if you're an A's fan, but
Yeah.
especially now losing Montas.
And then he goes to a team that has one of the best. You could argue has a top offense, and then now you're adding a really solid arm in your rotation. The Yankees got some bullpen help. Really need that, especially without Michael King now.
Yeah.
And again, my only question is this all going to benefit? We've seen teams past years do a lot, and it doesn't help them in theoretically. And we're also now an hour away from hour 5 of the deadline. This could be where we see Rodon's trade potentially happening. Pablo Lopez is also available for any team. I do have news on Wilson Contreras. It's a weird thing. Shocked this happened, but Wilson Contreras is not getting traded.
Really?
It's been official. They're going to hold on to him and Ian Happ, assuming, because they didn't trade anyone else.
Oh, wow. So I'm surprised Wilson Contreras isn't getting traded.
Yeah, I thought he would, but again, we're down to almost an hour left. So all these trades might file in. If the Yankees, and I also have bigger news on the Yankees. Teams are interested in Gleyber Torres. I'm going to talk about this because I think it's actually important to talk about Gleyber. This isn't, and it's coming from a Yankees fan who's Gleyber's just one of my favorite players. This isn't the worst case scenario to get rid of Gleyber, and I think a lot of Yankee fans are probably concerned about it. Listen, for me, I'm optimistic with this Yankees team for reasons. Obviously, Gleyber had 2 years where he wasn't even good. He didn't have the power that he once had. The defense was not good the past 2 years. I felt as if in 2020 and 2021, a lot of the throws he made, he was rushing them, doing a little too much at times. Concerned me because for a Yankees team who's trying to win now, you can't make these errors every game, and it costs teams. So I think the Yankees, if Gleyber's gone, can benefit from losing Gleyber.
I agree. I mean, even without Gleyber, they will probably have, I hate to say this, but the best offense, if not top 3, definitely. And you got Judge, Rizzo.
Yeah.
Crazy. The team has crazy good power.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about let's talk about the Angels. Do you think they're going to be giving up any other players?
I heard that Ohtani's not getting traded. I had also heard that I believe Angels traded. Oh yeah, Angels traded Brandon Marsh to the Phillies.
Ooh.
So that's an interesting one.
Who do they get back?
Obviously this year Brandon Marsh hasn't had the power that people thought he would, but for the Phillies, this guy's a lot of time to develop, and again, maybe he's another one of those big moves that I think that's a good trade for the Phillies. So
I completely agree. I mean,
now this is someone the Mets wanted. I found out too. David Robertson going to the Phillies is another big thing that I don't think people think it's big because their bullpen, who we talked about the Phillies bullpen in the past few years, has been garbage as anything. Adding a guy like this just makes their bullpen a little more deadly.
I agree. I mean, like you said, their bullpen has definitely been struggling a lot for the past few years. And they really have never had anybody too good in their bullpen. And just overall, the bullpen has probably lost them a decent amount of games.
We have news.
What?
This is also Red Sox got Eric Hosmer.
Oh, okay.
Because they had to get rid of that. And in the trade that made the Padres get Soto and Bell officially, they had to trade Luke Voigt to do that.
I think it's totally worth it.
And the Phillies have been in touch on Carlos Rodon, but the word is price is high. Unsure if a deal is possible. Again, you have to think about this from the Yankees and Padres, Phillies, and Cardinals' perspective. I don't think the Phillies have enough to give.
I agree. I mean,
now there's a crazy thing to think about. Now that the Phillies might not go after him, or if you're the Yankees, do you do it? Do you decide that it's time? It's time to make this bullpen scarier. The rotation, not bullpen. The bullpen's already decent enough. Just adding some safety blankets in that bullpen will help. Getting Sevy back, presumably mid-September is huge enough. Again, is if you think about it, the Yankees get another big starter who's had one of, when healthy, you could argue he's like a top, like 100 pitcher, in the MLB. But you add Sevy back to this rotation. You have Nestor Cortez. You have Montas and Cole. Like, that rotation could be good in the playoffs. And again, not even a theoretical move. The Yankees could move one of their starters into their bullpen if they wanted to. That's something to also think about.
Well, I mean, they have a deadly rotation already, like with Cole, Cortez, and now Montas. If they get Rodon, just imagine,
Yeah.
Just
The
imagine
playoffs
that
aren't. I think that it's going to be the better chance. Now, again, we'll see what happens with everything. And the Yankees, I'm happy the Yankees got rid of Joey Gallo. I think that was a smart thing they had to do.
Yeah, because Joey Gallo,
they traded him to the Dodgers, weirdly. And the Yankees acquire a top 10 prospect, Clayton Delier. I can't pronounce his last name, but that's all fine with me. But this just adds another good prospect in the Yankees farm that they can just develop. He's a double-A. He's a lot of strikeouts. That's just the Yankees have been doing their job. And again, like we said this before, this is the MLB. These big trades are happening. And again, if the playoffs start today, I think that I'm confident that the Yankees could go out there and maybe they could win it. I think that's a little too early to think, but the Yankees are playing well, so I think you should go for it.
I agree. The Yankees are obviously the best team in the league, but I'm not. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing the Yankees. But I feel like they're not the most consistent team. Have you like that one streak they went 5-10? They're not you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they go on pretty massive win streak sometimes.
But again, Stan, once he comes back from the IL, is huge for them. You get this big bat that again has been great in the playoffs for us in the past few years now.
Yeah, Stan definitely future Hall of Famer.
And again, we're going to see what happens. Now, again, there's a long season to go, and maybe the Yankees think that, adding these pitchers could get them close to doing what they want to do this year. But again, I agree with you. The Yankees' issue is they're consistent. They're inconsistent, and that's something that could bite them in the butt in the playoffs, especially if they win the AL this year. That's just if they keep this momentum riding, but we'll see what happens.
I guess we'll see what happens. With the Yankees AL, I mean they're definitely on pace to win it. But yeah. I guess they're like you said, almost the end of the trade deadline. So I guess we'll try to see if anything else comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Other big trades, big names. I'm surprised that the Angels. I feel like I know we talked about this last time, but Angels, you got to get rid of, at least either. I think you got to get rid of Trout or Ohtani.
Yeah,
I know it's gonna be too late.
Had something big that happened. The Yankees had made an offer for Ohtani, but things didn't fall through because they didn't want to give up Anthony Volpe, who's supposed to be their bigger prospect, top 6 prospect in the MLB right now, in MLB pipeline. This is a time that, you know what, the Angels thought as if, you either can, next year you're going to have to decide if you're the Angels, who do you want to keep? Ohtani or Trout? I think it's time to just, think about it, because I'm not saying this to make, Angels fans a little sad, but how are you going to pay Trout and Ohtani and keep both when you also have the Rendon?
Because Rendon's contract is way too big, and you just gotta get rid of both. So you have to get rid of one of them because they're all worth so much money that you'll be able to sign pretty good free agents. Because there's a lot of free agents this year. They're that.
Yeah.
like Nolan Arenado and and it's just a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel that if you're the Angels, that's what you got to do. Your team can't be based off of two players, or
Yeah.
like because that's what they basically are. They have two superstar players, and that's about it. I mean, Rendon's pretty good, but he just gets injured way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have anything to add on? I mean, you good?
Not really.
I mean, I think we've discussed about a lot about the trade deadline, Juan Soto, how dangerous the Padres are going to be. With like they're going to
Yeah.
have like four of some of the best hitters in the league. I mean, Tatis, Machado, Bell, and Soto.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
hmm
Crazy.
And Josh Hader.
Oh wait, they got Josh Hader.
Yeah.
Dang! Wow, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm not sure if you want, like I said, want to add anything else, or you good?
I think we're good. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is our second ever episode. We're gonna be dropping more. Wait for NFL updates coming soon. We're probably gonna do it whenever we're able to talk and again. But thank you guys for watching. Peace.
See
This
ya.
is A&M. We're signing out.
See ya.